Music therapy may be defined as the prescribed structured use of music or musical activities under the direction of specially trained personnel or music therapists to influence changes in maladaptive conditions or behavior patterns, thereby helping clients achieve therapeutic goals. This formal technical definition of music therapy is one found in textbooks. For the people it touches, music therapy is defined much more simply. It's in a smile, a voice, or a melody recalling pleasant memories. It's a break from loneliness or a moment of calm. Music therapy is a discipline that bridges all ages, different degrees of impairment, and different diagnoses. At the Sunshine Terrace Adult Day Center in Logan, Utah, it's used as a daily tool to improve life for the frail elderly and disabled adults who comprise the center's clients. For them, music therapy can mean rediscovery of a long-lost talent, or it can bring the joy of new accomplishments. An outlet for deep feelings when other ways of communicating are gone. Permission to dance, to laugh, and even to cry. Music therapy can pave the way to group acceptance, to promoting new friendships. The sense of belonging it brings transcends wheelchairs, tremors, and the isolation all too common to this population. Experts in the field say there are tangible reasons why music works in a therapeutic way for the frail elderly and those with other disabilities. Dr. Bruce Saperston is Director of Music Therapy at Utah State University.
For some reason it has a rather powerful ability to tap into long-term memory, for example. And I think in addition to that aspect, in terms of gaining access to memory, there's something in the inherent structure of the music itself that helps individuals to continue to participate in an activity. First of all, there's the rhythmic aspect. And if you were to go into a room yourself where there was strong music playing and people were all clapping their hands to it, it would take considerable skill on your part to try to tap against that rhythm. For example, there's something very powerful in music that is a socializer. And that probably enters in terms of the central nervous system and the rhythms and biorhythms of the body and helps to entrain us to wanting to move towards participating in rhythm with one another.
But what creates the difference between good musical experience and true music therapy? It's a process that begins with knowing the client. At Sunshine Terrace, medical and social history are reviewed before music therapy begins. Those with memory loss are given the Folstein mini-mental exam to determine their cognitive abilities. Outward appearance or facial expression can be deceiving when it comes to functioning and orientation. Newell McMillan is 76 years old. Doctors diagnosed him with senile dementia and Parkinson's disease.
Newell, can you tell me what day it is today?
Today, I can't.
That's okay. Can you tell me what year it is?
Well, the same. Yeah. You call meet or something.
Okay. What's the month, Newell?
I don't know.
His mini-mental score was 5,
Please
showing
tell me what
extremely low
season it
functioning. Later, board-certified music therapist Lisa Allman Knudsen conducts her assessment, focusing on his musical abilities and interests. This assessment taps into a reservoir of sound, touch, and feeling. Music seems to stimulate his brain, extend his attention span, and hold Newell's interest much longer. This music therapy assessment is step 1 in Lisa's individualized program for Newell.
The 4 steps are to assess the client, then design a program writing goals and treatment goals, and then we implement the program from the goals that we've established, and then we evaluate the client. From the assessment that we conducted with Newell, we were able to look at different areas of functioning. In his motor abilities, he was able to ambulate quite well. In the sensory perceptual, I noticed that he did wear glasses. He was able to hear quite well. He was also able to clap, locate the sound source, able to play sticks together, instruments that take both hands. He did forget words at times. He was also able to understand receptive language. which means that he was able to comprehend a one-step command and also a two-step command when I asked him to pick up the shaker and play it. In the cognitive area, that there was a lot of confusion. He wasn't quite sure where he was, but yet he could remember his music background.
Newell had remnants of good musical abilities which Lisa discovered when she tested his skills on violin, piano, and organ. Lisa and Newell set goals to meet 3 times a week to maintain and build his skills. The ultimate goal would be for Newell to perform and gain recognition from others. She keeps notes and records of Newell's progress throughout the therapy process. Regular evaluations every 3 months will track Newell's changes. Musical skills are not the primary goal in any music therapy program. Other real benefits occur as clients feel the joy in bonding with others and feel valued for what they can do. Making music of any kind can be a thrill when physical or cognitive limitations have otherwise narrowed their lives. Music therapists work with clients in large and small groups as well as one-on-one in order to meet varying needs. During individual sessions, the motion of playing an instrument can address physical problems. Jerry Mon is recovering from a traumatic brain injury. He participates in various group settings, but also works alone with Lisa to improve flexibility in his hands.
He had arthritis in his fingers, and he wanted to be able to learn to play the piano for his own self-esteem. And so I would give him certain types of exercises, scales, warm-up exercises, which would help him place his hands correctly and to be able to alleviate some of the pain from the arthritis.
Another client, Carol, with brain deterioration from spinal cerebellar, worked with Lisa to improve movement and speech.
Good, Carol. That sounded really good. Do you know when you sing, that helps you to produce words better?
Lisa encourages movement and flexibility from Carol's contracted hands through strumming the omnichord.
Open your hand for me, flex it. Yeah, just open your hand. Good! You'll never know, dear, how much I love you.
Playing and singing simultaneously, or doing 2 things at once, provides brain stimulation. Lisa also maximizes the exercise potential of her time with Carol.
Okay, stretch your hands out for me, way up in the air. Good! Give me a high five.
All sessions are filled with esteem-building praise. Positive reinforcement is as vital as melody.
Well, do you know that you are doing better? That's why we're going to watch this video. So you can see that you're doing better, Carol.
For those with dementia or disabilities who used to have outstanding musical abilities, music therapy can unlock closed doors. Reva Blair used to be a concert violinist and vocalist. At 61, she came to the center with a diagnosis of probable Alzheimer's. She hadn't played her violin in years, but the therapist found she would play if someone tuned the instrument, placed it in her hands, and played familiar chords. Riva's husband says before music therapy and her reunion with the violin, Riva was agitated and hostile because the dementia had so limited her life. He saw notable improvements.
It had a calming effect on her. And I believe she sensed the feeling of accomplishment again, because there wasn't too many things that she was able to do. She'd lost her freedom, but to get back into the music world, I think, was really precious to Riva, and increased her pleasures and her quality of life.
Knowing the client's cultural past is vital. Zelma Skudgens was a famous performer in her native Latvia, singing and acting on stage. She fled that country after communists killed her husband. In her new American home, the language barrier ended Zelma's career. She didn't perform again until Lisa tapped into her past by learning the Latvian national anthem. The emotion of the memory took over, in spite of her recent stroke.
Kur Latviju dēlīsies, kur Latviju meitas vies, laid mūs tur laimēs, mūs Latvija. Kur Latviju dēlīsies, kur Latviju meitas vies, laid mūs tur laimēs vies, mūs Latvija.
Beautiful, Zelma. She says thank you for listening to her even though she is sick with a stroke, but she has gotten very much better and she's still on her way up, and she's 91 years old, and she looks like a teenager, don't you? You look like a young girl.
Helping talents come through again. This group of people has become accustomed to losses, loss of freedom, loss of the way they used to live. Music therapy gives them much to gain. In this group session, the music coaxes movement from debilitated and weary arms. The clients leave social isolation, if just for a time, as they move together to a lilting rhythm. The words are repetitive and tell the clients exactly what they are to do.
I'm swaying, I'm swaying, I'm swaying my arms. I'm swaying, I'm swaying my arms.
Music therapy sessions can also be used to alleviate stress and pain. Those who suffer the frustration of physical limitations or anguish and agitation can learn to relax when the music therapist invites them on a mental journey to a place they find peaceful.
Just listening. Just taking a big deep breath and let yourself go to your place in your mind. And as you think about the place in your mind, what are you seeing in your mind? How are you feeling at this time in your mind?
Imaging and visualization are used with soft sounds to create calm. The therapist then brings them out of the relaxed state and asks them to share their feelings with the group.
How are you feeling? Did you have a good experience, Oma? Would you like to share? You look like you have a smile on your face. Sometimes that's an indication that you enjoyed your relaxation today.
Well, as usual, you know that I always like to be around water.
Oh,
When
nice.
I be around water is when I feel the best.
And why is
Around
that?
The ocean in California, Bear Lake over here. It really did make me feel good. And when we lived in Coeur d'Alene on the Twin Lakes, I was never happier than I was there.
How are you feeling, Rich? Wonderful?
Yeah.
Really? You weren't feeling so well when you started the session?
No.
tense and worried.
Relieving tension, finding respite. This session, like the others, provides much more than just musical experience. Music therapy is conducted by trained specialists who complete a 4-year degree, a 6-month internship, and also pass a board certification exam. What about musicians who are not therapists but would like to duplicate this kind of intervention in other settings?
They can't call themselves music therapists. It would be a little bit like someone who has very good verbal skills and seems to make people feel better, deciding, I'll be a psychologist. It is a profession which requires specific training, but they certainly can use their music in helping the other people. If you're going in and leading sing-alongs and leading instrumental activities with the clients, that's wonderful. I would applaud those people, and I would say, you know, it would be good to consult with a music therapist about the kinds of music you're using with the particular clients, and then say, I'm doing music activity with these people, and yes, we're improving socialization skills, motor skills through playing the instruments, communication kinds of skills, and that would be, certainly we would support people using music to help others.
Besides the training, Day Center Director Bonnie Smith says other qualities are vital for a successful music therapist.
Some of the qualities that I looked for when I hired Lisa is, number one, she's an outstanding human being who really cares about others, and that reflects in her face, in her eyes, in her smile, in the tone of her voice. She has such ultimate respect for our clients that they feel that and sense it, and that's one of the marvelous tools for helping them regain dignity. The other thing is that Lisa has excellent musical skills. It is hard for me to conceive of somebody really coming across in a therapeutic way if they're constantly playing wrong notes and playing music. That is painful, especially to a trained ear. Communication is so important when we're working with these people. If we don't get through to them, we can't touch them, we can't help them, we can't change their lives.
The physical environment in the therapy setting is important. Extreme room temperatures or distracting background noise can sabotage the session. Transient pain, an uncomfortable chair, or even the need to go to the restroom can be mistaken for inability to respond. From therapy sessions to dances, to inspiring artistic expression, the healing power of music can be the base from which other activities grow.
Behold the host of angels there. Oh, hear
Those with a religious background often have an increasing need to rely on faith as they draw near the end of life. Even for those with dementia, nothing touches more deeply or brings greater comfort than the words and music from a spiritual past.
I'm there in the same country, shepherds abiding in the fields, keeping watch over their flock by night.
And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid.
And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you the tidings of the great joy which should be to all people.
For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord.
And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. Amen.
You have tremendous power within you to use your talents, your ability, and your love of human beings to help them rise above the challenges of their disability, of their disease, to once again enjoy life and to feel like they are an important person, to help them reclaim dignity in their lives.